Okay, this is our daily study of Pirkei Avot, the Mishnah Ethics of the Fathers, in honor of those who have yard site for both today and tonight, the 19th and 20th of Av. Yard sites for today: Jay Cinnamon, Sarah Cohen, Rose Iceberg, Joe Henkin, Harry Kahn, Bertha Cantor, Helen Katz, Fessel Lipkin, and Fred Suffian, and I have one Hebrew name, David Ben Svi. And the yard sites for tonight, the 20th of Av: Salman Batnitsky, his Hebrew name was Shlomo Ben Yonatan, Sylvia Feder, Israel Klein, Ida Levin, Anna Lieberman, and Sarah Shore. May their memory be for a blessing. The link to the text of the Mishnah will be in the first comment below. We'll double up today because we have two short Mishnahs and we're doing for 2 days. So the last two Mishnahs, and with this we'll finish chapter 5. So chapter 5, Mishnahs number 22 and 23. Okay, Mishnah 22. Ben Bagbag Omer, Hafoch ba v'hafoch ba dekula ba, uba techazeh v'sivu v'leba, umina lo tezua she'en lach mida tova heimenu. Ben Bagbag said, turn it, and turn it again, for everything is in it, and contemplate in it, and grow old and gray over it, and stir not from it, for you have no better principle than it being Torah. And then Mishnah 23, with which the chapter 5 ends, Ben Hehe Omer Lefum Tzara Agra. Ben Hehe said, according to the exertion is the reward. Okay, I think that's the shortest Mishnah in Pirkei Avot, but back to Mishnah 22. So first of all, these are sort of funny names, Ben Bagbag and Ben Hehe. So the commentaries quote the opinions that they were converts, and they adopted these names because, well, Ben Hehe, the letter Hey, every letter in Hebrew has a numerical value. So the letter Hey is 5. So Ben Hehe, he's number 5 plus 5 is 10. Ben means the son of, he's the son of the Ten Commandments. He adopted upon himself the Torah, which is exemplified by the Ten Commandments. The rabbis say the Ten Commandments is sort of the core of the entire Torah, right? So Ben Hehe, he adopted upon himself the 10, the religion of the 10. And then Ben Bagbag would be the same idea because the numerical value of Bag is also 5. Bet is 2 and Gimel is 3. 2 plus 3 is 5, and then times 2, Bag. It could be he had to take Bagbag because Hey was already taken. Hey is simpler, right? Bagbag is a more convoluted way to get to 5 times 2. But anyway, just really fascinating that these would be their names. And they both give their teachings in Aramaic. Usually, almost always, the teachings in the Mishnah are in Hebrew. And it could be because they were converts and they spoke the common language, which was Aramaic. They presumably learned Hebrew too, but they chose to give these teachings in the more common language because they come from the general world. That's one theory. Or it could be because the truth is Hillel, who was born Jewish, also has a couple teachings in Aramaic. It could be that the Aramaic teachings in the Mishnah, the few that there are meant to be said in a way that would, they're short, pithy statements that were meant to become popular in the common person's mouth. And the common person spoke Aramaic. Hebrew was still seen as the more, I guess, sophisticated language of literature. So anyway, just kind of fascinating that these are in Aramaic. They're both Semitic languages, both very similar in any case, but the Talmud would end up being entirely in Aramaic. The Mishnah is almost entirely in Hebrew. The Talmud is the extensive commentary on the Mishnah. All right, let's see what Ben Bagbag had said. It's a beautiful thing for a convert to say, right? Someone who adopted Torah and said, hey, go over it and go over it, for everything is in it. Contemplate it, grow old and gray over it, stir not from it, for you have no better principle than it. Because I always point out when the personal biography of the one teaching really sheds light upon the teaching in a beautiful way. Um, right, oftentimes people who are born Jews don't have as much an appreciation as the convert. I often point out when there's a married couple who are one is converted and one is born Jewish, rabbis joke, it's very often the case that the convert is the one who's more enthusiastic about Judaism, or they adopt it because they adopted it with more as opposed to born into it. The Machzer Vitri here says everything is in it means the entire wisdom of the world, right? It doesn't mean literally everything like science, and although there are those who have that theory that no, you don't need to study any secular knowledge because if you were able to delve into the codes of the secret encoded into the Torah is literally all knowledge, including all physics and chemistry. I think that's a bit far-fetched. I like the Machzer Vitri's take. When we say everything is in the Torah, we mean all theological, philosophical truth that for which you need to live your life in a moral, good, ethical way, and all the truth about God and morality. But I like to say all truth is in the Torah, but not all facts are in the Torah. So I went to Yeshiva University, the bastion of modern orthodoxy, And modern Orthodoxy is all about the motto of Yeshiva University, which is Torah Umada. You need Torah and secular knowledge working together. The Torah does contain all philosophical moral truth, but you need to have other knowledge to supplement it in terms of just the facts of the world that the Torah itself informs. That's sort of a core of modern Orthodoxy and this Mishnah, how this Mishnah fits into that. And then Ben Hehe Omer Lefum Tsar Agra. Ben Hehe said, that's Mishnah 23, according to the exertion is the reward. Well, the English version of this is no pain, no gain. No pain, no gain. According to us, it's Lefum Tsar Agra. We got it in even fewer words. No pain, no gain is 4 words. Ben Hehe has 3. Lefum Tsara Agra. To the exertion is the reward. So I like to joke that ironically, Ben Hehe's statement required the least exertion of any of the statements in the Mishnah because it's so short. But that perhaps is the entire point, that he's saying, hey, it's simple here. No pain, no gain. Now go act on it. I don't have anything else to say than that. It's very simple. Meaning the exertion isn't going to be found in the sitting and the delving over my words, but rather in putting these simple words into action. That's where it's going to be found. Now, Ben Hehe's statement, Rambam says, is meant to apply specifically to the study of Torah. The more that you toil in the study of Torah, the more reward you'll get. But I always point out that so many of these statements in Pirkei Avot have universal resonance, that no pain, no gain, or according to the exertion of the reward, it's originally taught in the context of the study of Torah, but of course applies to anything in life worth doing. You have to put in the hard work. We could also point all the way back to Adam, the original man, who was told, by the sweat of your brow you will eat bread, right? You can't have exertion, you can't have reward in this world without the sweat of your brow. So that goes all the way back to the beginning of the Torah. Okay, so with that, we'll say the El Mole. Now, once again, I have 2 Hebrew names, David ben Tzvi and Shlomo ben Yonatan, and then we'll say the English version. El Male Rachamim Shochein Bamiromim Hamatzei Menuchon Al Kanfei Hashechina B'Malos Kedoshim Tahorim Kazar Harakia Mashirim Es Nishmos David ben Tzvi Shlomo ben Yonatan Yes Kol Haskaros Shel Hayom B'Shel Halayla Shel Chuli Olamam Ba'avor Shemispalim Bat Haskaras Nishmasam Gan Eden Tehei Menuchasam Lachein Bal Harachamim Yasdireim B'Seiser Kenafav Liolamim Yitzur B'Tzorach Chaim Es Nishmasam Adonai unachlasam yanuchu b'shalom mishkavam and omar amen. And in English, he who blessed our forefathers. O God, full of mercy, who dwells on high, grant proper rest on the wings of the divine presence in the lofty levels of the holy and pure, who shine like the glow of the firmament, for the souls of David ben Tzvi, Jay Cinnamon, Sarah Cohen, Rose Iceberg, Joe Henkin, Harry Kahn, Bertha Cantor, Helen Katz, Fessel Lipkin, and Fred Suffian, whose yard sites are today, and Shlomo ben Yonatan, Salman Batnitsky, Sylvia Feder, Israel Klein, Ida Levin, Anna Lieberman, and Sarah Shore, whose yard sites begin tonight, in whose memory we study and pray. May their resting place be in the Garden of Eden. Therefore may the Master of Mercy shelter them in the shelter of his wings for eternity. May he bind their soul in the bond of life. Hashem is their heritage. May they rest in peace. And let us say Amen.